Welcome to the Canadian-Slovenian Chamber of Commerce presents Business Insights 2023. I'm Sonia Rosenworth, the Chamber's Executive Director, and we're pleased that you've joined us today as our members and associates present valuable business expertise and insights. Today, we're pleased to introduce Mr. Damjan Sova, COO of Ars Longa, tour operators that offer unique, culturally gratifying escapes throughout the globe, and Mr. Iztok Altbauer, Managing Director of the Slovenian Spas Association, for an up-to-date look at today's Slovenian wellness retreats. Today, let's escape together as they present travel adventures to stimulate your senses in Slovenia and beyond. This is a short disclaimer. Please note, we'll leave it for you to read, and it'll be part of the YouTube posting. This is the agenda for today's event. Our distinguished speakers will share how we can rejuvenate our minds and bodies and to escape. The presentations will be followed by a Q&A session where you'll have the opportunity to speak to our panel, and then we'll conclude the event with a survey questionnaire. Our speakers today are His Excellency Andrei Rode, Ambassador for the Republic of Slovenia in Ottawa, Mr. John Doma, UCAN Treasurer, Slovenian Honorary Consul General for Canada, and Canadian-Slovenian Chamber of Commerce President. Our featured presenters, as I said, are Mr. Damjan Sova and Mr. Iztok Altbauer. We'll also have a video from Xanterra Group, VBT Tours. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce His Excellency Andrei Gregor Rode. We're pleased to have the support from the Embassy, and we appreciate the collaborative relationship they have fostered with the Canadian-Slovenian Chamber of Commerce and all of our Slovenian organizations across Canada. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Dobar dan and good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to be here today to open this presentation of Slovenian tourism. I would like to express my deep appreciation to the Slovenian Canadian Chamber of Commerce, especially its Executive Director, Sonia, and its President, John, for organizing this event, which allows us to share Slovenia's exciting story with all of you. Slovenia stands as a truly exceptional and diverse destination. From the breathtaking peaks of the Alps to the mesmerizing shores of the Adriatic Sea, Slovenia offers an array of exciting outdoor activities, including hiking, biking, skiing, and other activities at numerous spas. Our vibrant towns and villages display an irresistible charm, bustling with cultural events and offering exceptional culinary delights and wine tasting experiences. At the heart of our tourism lies a solid commitment to sustainability. This dedication has placed Slovenia among the leading environmentally friendly countries in Europe, and we are immensely proud to be recognized as one of the greenest destinations in the world. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I appreciate your time today. Now, allow me to introduce our first guest speaker, Mr. Damjan Sova has been the Chief Operating Officer of Ars Longa Academic Travel Agency since 2001. Highly educated with degrees and a deep passion for art history and sociology of culture, he has successfully combined his immense knowledge with an expertise in destination programming, tour operation, as well as tourist guiding and heritage interpretation. Ars Longa DOO has been organizing group and individual trips to all continents since 1991. From the beginning, the aim has been to organize trips focused on in-depth knowledge of places, people, and a locale's particular way of life, and above all, the cultural and historical heritage of the countries visited, all personally tailored to your preferences. This means that Ars Longa can always offer you something new, even in seemingly familiar countries, whether you're looking for a trip for your company, association, or a themed trip. They'll work with you to provide a glimpse behind the curtain, where perhaps a hidden gem awaits your discovery. Welcome, Mr. Sova.
So what I'm going to do today is that I would like to make a short, I would say, introduction into our work, who we are, what we are doing, what's our specialty, why travel with us, and on the other hand, why travel to Slovenia, why travel to Europe, why travel at all. So why we are traveling and what we are trying to, give to our groups, to you, when we are together on the tour. So let me say already that we are very happy that we made a tour to Argentina last year, and we are very proud of it. And everybody from our office is sending you warm greetings to all of you, Mr. Juan Kocha, Mr. Philip Grum, and all others preparing tours for you. So who are we? What are we doing? What are we intend to do? What's the aim of our work? I would say, and I will have some few points just to focus on our work. And I would say, when we are travel, we would all like to feel ourselves safe and that somebody is looking after us. You can travel alone, you can discover a world, but if you travel with an experienced tour operator, with an agent like Ars Longa is, then everything is thought about. So we always discuss how to do the tour, that it will be, not only safe in a physical way, but in a psychological way as well, that you will feel perfectly when you will travel with your tour guide in a destination, whatever it is. We always care about, your feelings, about the things you see, the things you can feel in the country you visit. So everything should go through your feelings and through your, I would say, way of discovering a new country. So that's the very important, I would say, for us. When you're traveling in Canada, it's your homeland. Everything is familiar: language, money, prices, I would say, more or less. But when you're traveling around the world, when you're traveling to South America, Argentina, Peru, Mexico, I don't know, or traveling into Europe, there are languages changes. The languages are changing from one country to another. Prices are changing, and the habits are different in different language in different countries. So if you would like to travel in those diverse countries, you need to feel safe and that somebody's there looking after you, I would say. Then another thing we are emphasize in our work is that you feel comfort. So when we are travel, we have to have good hotels, good standard, and good, I would say, balance between price and standard. And we are home in Europe, but we are home in Latin America as well. So our customers, our passengers, knows us in Slovenia as that we are experts for tours in Latin America and for cultural tours in Europe. So comfort, not only the content, but comfort in travel, good buses, good food, as you might see, good hotels with good standard. That's something we need to balance at all times, that the tour is comfortable. And last but not least, we need to be flexible. We have hundreds of products. We have more than 250 tours published online. That's quite a number. But yet, for every group, every tour we made is a kind of a custom tour. It's tailor-made just for you. It's exactly the same what we did in Argentina for you. So there is no kind of standard tour to Argentina, but every tour is custom made, every tour is tailor made. So we are flexible, we should be flexible to, to get as much as we can from the tour, and that you can get as much as you can from your holidays, from the tour you make with us. So that's our aim. We need to be flexible, that you could feel comfort, that you could feel safe, and that there is always somebody to take care of you. And of course, I would say, above all is the content, why we are traveling. Of course, we have to escape, as Sonia said. We have to find some new, challenges, new words, new people, new languages, new culture, etc. But there has to be someone that tailors your content, that tailors the content of the tour. It's not only that you are in Slovenia. And as Mr. John says, and I strongly agree with him, we all know Bled and Bohinj, but we rather don't know other parts of Slovenia. So if we are making tour in Slovenia, around this beautiful country, we have to have broad content to know more places, not only the highlights, and to have a story, a kind of a story which fits into this I would say Slovenian frame, Slovenian culture, etc. So content, safety, looking after the tour, looking after your experience, and looking after the group we are making a tour of. For that's the very important points we are focusing when we are organizing tours for different groups, as I will say a bit later. So I will show you just a few photos of our country, of your country, of our home and your home. When I'm talking with people from Canada, I've got some relatives in Canada as well. Well, not quite a lot. I think around 50. I was counting with my relatives months ago, because now there are already sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters, etc. So I can't know them all, but I know some of them. So we are all feeling like we're home, Canada, Slovenians from Canada, Slovenians from here, there are strong, I would say, bands, strong ties. So some photos from Slovenia. This is Ljubljana, of course. When we are traveling in Slovenia, more or less our tours starts here. We stay here for a couple of days, exploring the city, which is, it's on the tourist map in the last 15 years. And it's rising, in numbers of foreign visitors from everywhere. And of course, we have coast. It's a Piran, which is a kind of a gem, I would say, in this Slovenian pearl. And when we are talking about the content, we always are very careful that the content for you is something different than the content for one coming from Europe. Or if I would say, I would guide a Slovenian group in Slovenia. So it's not the same. So you've got different, I would say, context, association, memories. You've got family here. It's something a bit different. So we should always prepare a tour which fits in this frame and can fulfill your expectations. This is Velika Planina. It's very near from Ljubljana. It takes about maybe half an hour and you could be already there. It's a kind of I don't know, fairy tale village of old buildings, pasture, etc. So, and this is not a fake photo. This is a real photo, So it's really so nice, as you can see it on this photograph. And of course, our rivers. It's not the no man's land like Canada has a lot of wild nature and wild nature. there is a very beautiful nature as well in Slovenia, as we all know it. And I'm sure you already have visited it many times or a couple of times already. So, and of course, Lipica's horses. The main advantage of Slovenia regarding the size is that it's quite small. So you need, let's say, 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, or maximum 2 hours, and you can be from west to east. From the center of Slovenia, from Ljubljana, you could reach Lipica, where those beautiful horses are, in about an hour coach driving. So, and you can go to those beautiful spas in Prekmurje, and you can reach them in about an hour and a half. So it's everything very close. It's good connected. It's perfectly simple to come from one point to another. And of course, to have a good food. And delicious Slovenian food is, I would say, something we are very proud of. In every single small village of Slovenia, you can find something new. And I am sure you know it very well, maybe even better than I do. So there's another advantage in Slovenia regarding, I would say, food, tourist, in tourist places, in hotels, in restaurants. Slovenia is small and it's very green. A forest is everywhere. There are many, the vegetable is growing around the restaurants, around the hotels. So sustainability in Slovenia is very important, as we already heard it today. And it's local food, which is very delicious in Slovenia. It's a kind of a, we could say, 0-mile gastronomy. So there are gardens around Ljubljana, and all those suppliers could bring these delicious vegetables directly to Ljubljana market, to the restaurants, and so on. So Slovenia is small, and the size of Slovenia has a lot of advantages as well. And another very important point I would like to point out, another very good thing about Slovenia is the position of Slovenia inside Europe. So that's my, I would say, next level of this short presentation of our work, that Slovenia lies close to many important cultural, political centers of Europe. Vienna is around, I would say, a bit more than 200 miles away. Venice, about 150 miles away, I would say. So everything is on the hand's reach. So it's just around the corner. So by the coach, you need only, I would say, about 3 hours drive from Ljubljana to Venice, or maybe 5 hours drive to Vienna or to Munich, etc. So if you compare the position of Slovenia and the distances to the most important and interesting centers around Slovenia, those are much closer than, I would say, centers in Canada, regarding the fact that Canada is really a big country. So everything in Slovenia is around the corner. So it's very comfortable to travel around by coach in Slovenia, not only in Slovenia, but in Central Europe as well. So our position is perfect, is ideal. So we've got Italy on the west, Austria, Germany on north. France is a bit far away, but not very far away. So it's if we take a plane, a flight from Ljubljana to, let's say, Paris, it's only about an hour and a half. So we are very close to all the centers. And that's why we are sure and we are proud of our work and cooperation with you in Canada, with you Slovenian people in Canada, that we made a tour to Argentina last year, and that we are planning a tour to Portugal and Spain this autumn. So that's the photo from Cordoba in Spain, one of the most beautiful towns in Andalusia. So that's the south of Spain. It's not far away from Slovenia. it's a bit more far away from Canada. But anyway, so we are able to take you everywhere. You know, we've got both. We take Slovenian tourists out of Slovenia, and we bring other people in Slovenia, but we can bring you into Europe, and we can bring you elsewhere, like we did last year in Argentina. So, you know, everything's possible. Everything could be done. All the programs which are published on our website, our general website is in Slovenian, but we've got English version of website as well. All the Slovenian programs could be adjusted, could be, you know, tailor-made for everybody and especially for you. So we will go to Spain this year. This is Madrid. This is the capital of Spain. Very lively, very nice city. Of course, different as our cities in Canada, but that's why we are here, to look after you, you know, to feel you comfortable, to feel you safe, to feel you comfort, you know, and to give you content. What's the most important thing in Spain to visit, to know, to discover? And that's Portugal. We will visit Portugal as well. This is the nice town of Porto, on north of Portugal. And of course, as in Slovenia, everywhere in Europe, food is very important, and that's the delicious sweet pastel de Belém is called, and they are proudly making those very delicious sweets for centuries, I would say, around Lisbona. So it's cinnamon and other stuff and cream, but I should not give you a receipt, as you will travel with us and then you will taste it and you will be amazed, I would say. And of course, that's one of the main points of Portugal, that the Portugal navigators 500 years ago, they went abroad and they discovered a new world, you know, and that's the monument. And the Columbus is standing at the front, showing to the direction of New World, and we are traveling there as well. So that's Mexico. We have a very good and nice, I mean, full of content tour to Mexico, which we are making with one of the archaeologists from Slovenia, who is very well known abroad in United States, I'm sure in Canada as well. His name is Mr. Spreitz, and he is taking us to and we are discovering of the mystery of Maya people in Mexico with him. And we, of course, always are meeting nice people everywhere. That's the aim, to get in contact with the local culture. Of course, if we came across with the nice beach, we make a stop as well. And there's one of our groups, and there's a Canadian flag, you might see. And that's the group of Canadian-Slovenians. We were visiting Argentina last year, and that was our really, really very nice tour. Many of you now at the presentation, you've been there and you remember how we organize everything. And that's a kind of a, I would say, our mode of work. That's how we are working. That's how we are want to look after everybody, to look after all the tour, to look after every group, to every destination, etc. So this is really important for us, and that's another group photograph of this excellent group with others meeting there with Slovenians as well. So that was a kind of a really, really nice meeting of Slovenians from all over the world, I would say. And yeah, so we traveled through the Argentina. This year we will go to Spain. And now please welcome all the team, not all, not everybody, but some of them We are here in the heart of Ljubljana. You can see here it's about 8, 9, but we are now 11, 12 collaborators, employees in Ars Longa, here, based here in Ljubljana, in the heart of Ljubljana. So you've got our contacts at the bottom of the page, and Sonia will share the contacts as well. So you will be able to contact, you are most welcome to contact us every time you need an answer and information or everything. We are here to help you, and we will be very happy to meet you in, let's say, in our next tour, which will be this autumn in Spain and Portugal. And last but not least, during the COVID pandemics, we did some refurbishment of the building where we are. So we've got 7 apartments as well. It's a kind of a little heritage hotel. As you might see, it's everything new, refurbished. So, and there are many tourists as well now in those apartments. So let me just get back for a minute, I would say, to our team. So what we are doing, many tours, I say, everywhere in the world, mostly cultural tours in Europe, and let's say broad tours full of content elsewhere, Latin America especially, Southeast Asia as well, Africa as well. And on the other hand, we have many different customers, different passengers and groups. So they could be elderly people. We have to look after them. So the tours are special, tailor-made for them, because, you know, they would need more free time to relax, etc. And on the other hand, we have many groups of young people, so high schools, students. So we are preparing for them special tailor-made culture, art history tours, mainly in Europe. And on the other hand, we have a lot of business tours as well. So there could be congresses or special, let's say, tours for architects in Europe, Latin America, United States. So those are our main fields of operation, I would say. So that would be a short presentation from my side of our travel agency and our work. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. And not just the last sentence, if you travel to Slovenia, you can always extend your stay in some of the beautiful spas in Slovenia. And Mr. Altbauer will talk about that and say you some interesting things about beautiful spas in Slovenia. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for the segue. If you could please stop share.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you very much. Now I'd like to present our next very distinguished speaker, Mr. Iztok Altbauer. Mr. Altbauer is the managing director of the Slovenian Spas Association, and he has been in the position since 2008. A German and sociology graduate from the University of Ljubljana, he's passionate about travel and is a well-spoken expert on the global spa industry, and particularly in Slovenia. From traditional medical spa rehabilitation centers, Slovenian spas have developed into modern spa and wellness centers, where a holistic approach is applied for every need. Health tourism has become one of the most vital sectors of the tourist industry, with around a third of all overnight stays emanating from this area, a number that could continue to rise as the need for relaxation becomes stronger in our hectic modern times. Slovenia has an abundance of natural riches, as well as the luxury of both sea and mountain climates, which lead to a variety of spas that offer health, recreation, relaxation, and much, much more. So it's my pleasure to present Mr. Altbauer.
Thank you, Sonia. It's so wonderful to be with you, and a wonderful introduction by His Excellency Mr. Rode and Mr. Thomas. So I will just continue where Damjan actually said the introduction about Slovenia. And yes, you were the speakers before very much right. The most visible image of Slovenia definitely is Bled. But Bled is not the only thing that Slovenia has to offer, as we heard already from Damjan. And I will try to maybe put the picture and the view of Slovenia in a bit different way. I would say Slovenia is big. Slovenia is not small. Why do I think, and what do I mean by big? I mean Slovenia has such a big variety of tourism attractions from the east to the north, to the south, to the east. And I will, of course, be focusing on health and spa resorts, but we sometimes see the figures, the numbers that Slovenia in size is small, but we have a big tourist heart. We have one of, I would say, most friendly or thing for accepting, welcoming the guests. Oh, but to focus now on what our main topic is I will try to find my presentation, which I just had in front, and I will then start to introduce you my way of taking care of my health and well-being. This is what we actually say and what we want to show. Just okay. Now, speaking about health and spa resorts in Slovenia, this is one of, I would say, really the nicest topics at all that you can speak about Slovenia. Why I believe so? Because the spas, they are stretched throughout the country, except one area which we really don't find the spas is in the Alpine region. But when we go from central part of Slovenia, between Novo Mesto, Celje, and further to Maribor and then to Murska Sobota, you will see all where these pins are, the different locations of our health and spa resorts. Now, speaking about different terms, we use mainly health and spa resorts when you speak in Europe. Overseas, especially in the States and in Canada, there's more known the name hot springs, more common. It's more used either in the literature or even in the news. And we will come to that, that really in Slovenia, we are speaking about hot spring or terme, zdravilišča in Slovene. But I will explain that even later on. Now, of course, every tourism product in Slovenia is trying to stretch out some of the values. Now, one of our main value that we are connected with is definitely health. This is what everything started, and it started very early. It started actually in Roman times, but we will come also to this a little bit later about our time and the history, the tradition. But on one side, what we are speaking about is the natural remedies. The natural remedies, not only hot water, not only thermal water, not only mineral thermal water, but there are other natural healing factors that we combine with tradition on one side, and definitely the knowledge that has been developed in the centuries. On top of that, we are speaking about a local and authentic character, and we are striving definitely to excellence in all our offer. We have put, of course, the highest standards. What we have learned in the really critical time of the last 3 years with the COVID time is how important health is, but how important also is that we put the standards of hygiene and all of our spas have put a very strict conditions that we're still keeping now, because we found out that our guests feel even more safe when we obey these strict rules. But definitely what is important to all of us, and what we have found, is that we find that we need a new movement, a new positive well movement. And all of our spas have actually joined with their programs related to health, but also to well-being and wellness, in actually shifting from one side what we were going on through this last years, to positive and resilience, building community, and all of our spas are really performing excellent also on this field. There are many advantages in this new, what we call the new normality. It is definitely something what people are seeking very much, which is closeness to nature, away from crowds, away. Of course, you want to see and you want to go to experience culture. You want to go to Ljubljana, you want to go to Bled, but you want to relax. You want to feel embraced with nature, the countryside, the environment. And yet we are having a holistic approach. We are actually looking at our client as an individual and trying to put a program for each and one. But of course, our primary mission is to take care of each one's health and be in position to also put programs for the mind, body, and relaxation. Therefore, we have also in the last years developed programs for and treatments to boost the immune system, and of course let's say the main part of our work definitely remains rehabilitation for patients, but this has become actually the minor part of our business. It represents only some 10 to 15%, but we're still state certified. That it means that we are able to perform this rehabilitation in all our health and spa resorts. And from nature, this is what we put always as a first. It's renowned and proven effect of natural healing resources. We are not speaking about only thermal and mineral waters. We have mineral haloids. What does it mean? You will find a lot of Latin names in our expressions. It means actually healing muds that include mineral and that we apply. Either we apply directly on the body, or we mix it with thermal water, and you soak into this mineral bath. But one of the speciality of Slovenia is also peat that we have in Pohorje, the oldest and highest, not the highest, but the oldest mountain range on 1,500 meters on Mount Rogla. We have peat that we use also in one of our spa. But one of the great advantages of Slovenia is that it has this short coastal strip, only some 35 miles long, but yet this enables us to use and to have thalassotherapy with seawater, sea brine, which is very high concentrated seawater. And a very speciality of Slovenia is the healing Sanina mud that we still get from more than 800 years of tradition of winning the salt in the traditional way. And beneath that salt basin is the mud. Not to forget, definitely the beneficial climate with a lot of aerosols on the coastal part, but also in the vicinity of the mountain range. We are proud to have centuries of tradition. More than 600 years old papers have been found that the thermal water was already used in those times. Although we know that the Romans were actually the first, we call it spa tourists, but we don't have many or enough proven documents about that. We have world famous drinking waters like Radenska, the Tree Heart. We shall come to that later on. Or in Rogaška Donat MG, the mineral water with the highest content of magnesium among all the waters in the world. And now if we combine the nature, the tradition, and the knowledge, is that what we are speaking about, the thermalism or balneology? That's the scientific terms that we use when we want to point out the benefits of our natural healing resources. And we combine this always with the local character and resources. We employ local people, we use local food. Damjan just said 0 kilometer food. That means that the food is really produced in the nearby farms and used in our hotels and is on display for our guests. We have a very rich and diverse choice of accommodation. Not only that we speak about hotels, but we have self-catering, we have apartments, we have bungalows, we have even glamping. That means a very glamorous campsites with your private jacuzzi or private spa pool, thermal pool that you can use. So you can choose between all kind of possibilities what you like. This is actually all what you would need for an extreme healthy and well-being holiday in Slovenia, in one of our Slovenian health and spa resorts. There's so many stories about health and spa resorts. We are speaking about 50 natural spas. 12 of them are members of our health and Slovenian Spas Association. In Slovenia, we speak about nearly 90 natural thermal springs with very different temperature of water. On the seaside, in Portorož, for example, the thermal water is only 23, 24 degrees, where in Moravske Toplice, it's the hottest water, 73 degrees. We have, of course, to cool it down. Just a second, maybe some few more information that might be interesting. Over 70,000 square meters of indoor and outdoor thermal water areas, almost 15,000 beds in hotels, apartments, and campsites. And we represented 1/3 of overnight stays in Slovenia, but Ljubljana was doing so well in the last couple of years, adding so more new facilities and accommodation units that they are now taking us a little bit away of, or they're performing very well, but still the Slovenian health and spa resorts have the longest average stay among all the tourism products in Slovenia. So the main 3 pillars: health and medical wellness, programs for couples, families with wellness and selfness, especially for families, is the aqua fun and thermal break. We put this everything as much as possible in our green, local, and boutique environment. Can you imagine to have a massage in an environment like this in Prekmurje with the rotunda from the 16th century, behind 15th century? And now let's make a stroll and to see some of our health and spa resorts to just give you the brief idea what the spas are like. Manalaško is what we consider a classical spa resort, which remained their rehabilitation unit, but some nearly 12, 13 years ago, built a new hotel, a wellness hotel with this wonderful pool, which is a wonderful attraction, especially with the cupola that can be opened during summer and you can enjoy even fresh air. And again, situated at the Savinia River with a wonderful environment. A unique water is in Moravske Toplice. It's called the black healing water. It's indeed a therapeutic water. You're supposed to stay there for 15, 20 minutes and then relax, because the water is so highly mineralized that's even giving the color of the water. Actually, the story goes that they were trying to find a petrol in Moravske Toplice, but luckily they didn't find petrol, but they found this wonderful thermal water. And mentioning before, the temperature of 73 degrees centigrade has to be, of course, cooled down to about 35, 36 degrees so that you can use it. And the water in the other pools is also mineral water, but it's purified. So you have this natural water, which is coming out like from the source that we use for therapies as well. And then you can enjoy also in other pools with mineral water. Our champion in wellness programs is definitely the Spa Terme Olimia in Podčetrtek, being voted 12 times in a row as the best wellness resort. This is the picture of Orchidelia, which is also an architectural gem. And the programs that you can get here are really for pampering yourself and putting your mind and body on a wonderful holiday and relaxation. While Terme Tui, the oldest town in Slovenia, has one of the youngest spas, nearly 50 years that they started to use the power of the thermal water and developing the thermal outdoor pools first and adding a wonderful 4 superior star hotel, Hotel Primus, that is offering all kind of traditional and modern wellness offer. The biggest joy for children, for sure, is the thermal spa Čatež, located just near the Croatian border, just some 25 kilometers from, or let's say 15, maybe 20 miles from Zagreb, from Croatian capital. It is the paradise with 12,500 square meters of pools. It is the oasis, thermal oasis, how they call it, and of course a paradise for children, for families with children. Again, another traditional resort where the focus on health is more visible than in some other spas is Radenci Health Resort. But Radenci we combine with the Three Hearts, which is a synonym of Radenska, the mineral water of Three Hearts. And it is the center of cardiovascular prevention and disease rehabilitation centers, where the people would be coming mainly after having some kind of cardiovascular disease. Dolenjska Toplice, a wonderful combination, a traditional spa with a new modern facility, even with a Japanese pool where the temperature is nearly 40 degrees, a really wonderful hot spring. This is what we really would find on a hot spring. And if you would go to Japan, the Japanese would call this an onsen. Definitely one idea that we brought back where we were on several study tours worldwide, and the idea came and it was made in Dolenjska Toplice, member of Terme Krka, which have the 2 other spas. One traditional spa is also Dobrna Thermal Spa, located nearby Celje. You always see the pin where the location of the spa is. Also here, the tradition pays a very long and very strong story. It has a wonderful park. More than 200 years ago, it was already designed under Feng Shui, and it is a wonderful, relaxing place. In recent few years, they have added a boutique hotel with 12 rooms, really for the upgrade travelers. They have some private apartments, and they have just opened a new wellness area. So wonderful place to be and enjoy, also in connection with walking, hiking, biking nearby in the vicinity. Mariške Toplice, again, another traditional spa, the only spa that preserved a wooden pool that you can see here behind, and has also the indication for cardiovascular disease, with a wonderful, beautiful forest surrounding the area. Mentioning the peat in the beginning of my presentation is connected with the Zreče Thermal Spa that are using peat for therapies either on packages like in this picture or to mix it with thermal water. Also, Terme Zreče is a younger spa. It was founded by steel tool and casting company called Union, which is also owning the ski resort Rogla on 1,500 meters, and on the foothill is Terme Zreče. Moving over to the coast, we get to the only spa in Slovenia that doesn't have its own thermal water. It is using, therefore, the power of the sea, and we call this Talaso. Therefore, also the name Talaso Strunjan, also member of Terme Krka, wonderfully located in an environmental protected area, so that you out immediately when you step outside of the spa, you're really in this wonderful green backyard of the Slovenian Adriatic. Coming now to our last member that is again on the coast is Portorož Thermal Spa, Life Class Hotels and Spa. And you can see here the application of Salinamad. It's really so black, incredibly. Somebody would think this is mixed with some color. No, this is nature that is giving us this beautiful variety, because every spa in Slovenia is different and is using this strong, powerful, actually power of nature and its natural remedies. Of course, pictures and words can say 100 stories and can say the 100 story, but I would like to invite you now to a short video that will round up our short presentation and stroll through the Slovenian health and spa resorts.
Water, you, me, the essence, nature. Each and every day is the right time to slow down and take care of yourself. In green Slovenia, you are inspired to do just that, all year round in the best natural thermal spas and resorts. Holidays, time to rest. Touch. The world of luxury natural remedies calms you down and takes you to a place where you still know how to listen to yourself. Slovenian thermal spas await you with a holistic approach to health and wellness, with the help of proven natural healing resources and dedicated medical teams. Here you can feel every motion and nature tenderly pampering you. Here you can trust our experts to choose just the right way for you. Your way to well-being of body and mind. Set out on a journey to your inner self. Relax. Activate yourself. Discover the richness of healthy waters of Slovenia. Enjoy the beneficial warmth of Slovenian spas in your own way. Slovenian Spas. Warmth that feels so good.
Oh yes, I think we need some warmth after several rainy days here in Slovenia, and the temperature, which is not really, or actually the temperature and the weather is ideal for jumping in the thermal spa and warming up. But now, just before my last words, I would like to point out that in Slovenian Spas last year, together with the Slovenian Tourist Board, we have made this so-called Slovenia Green Wellness Route. This is a 16-day biking tour connecting the best Slovenian spa and the destinations, all of them who are carrying the Slovenia Green label. You start actually in our capital, Ljubljana, and drive all the way to the Hungarian, Austrian, Croatian border in Lendava, and then make a loop back towards Celje. And of course, you can do only part of this trip. Daily route is calculated at about 30 miles, which is actually feasible and reachable by nearly everybody. And you can, of course, rent e-bikes, which makes it also much easier. And that should be also the introduction of Xanterra Group, which is an expert in cycling, a cycling tour operator, which will follow my presentation. I hope I was not too long and gave you an insight about what the Slovenian health spa resorts are offering. And at the end, to say, we would like to welcome all of you who haven't been and who haven't discovered the Slovenian health and spa resort to do so. And we will take care that not only that you will remain healthy, but that you will be as happy as possible and as healthy as possible. Thank you very much. And I will, with this, stop sharing my presentation and giving the word back to you, Sonia.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I think we all learned a lot more places that we want to escape to for sure. As Mr. Altbauer said, I'll just do a short video from our partners, associates, VBT Tours. They are operating out of the US, but they do manage, whoops. Just a moment. Yeah, they do manage different tours from all over the world. I have a short video here from them, just to entice you into active travel now that we've been all relaxed and pampered and learning. So please join me in watching VBT's video here.
You're in these little towns that you probably would never go to. You're out on a bike just experiencing the beauty of whatever country you're in. Stuff you would just not do on your own.
The trip leaders on this tour are awesome.
You just get immersed in a culture. And I think a lot of that is the guides, because they're from these areas.
They're very accommodating,
very knowledgeable,
take care of every need.
They're very flexible. It's always really, really well-run trips.
I want it to be as easy as it can be, and they take care of everything.
They put you up in, great hotels. You're totally taken care of for the whole time you're with them.
I had luggage tags with my name on it. I have planned activities for the day. I honestly don't have to think about anything.
We can just fall out of the plane, and they will take care of us until we fall back into the plane.
No matter what your level of biking,
you feel very comfortable on these adventure experiences. It's all very natural and organic.
And when you're pedaling, you're smelling it, you're feeling it, you're really experiencing it in a totally different way than if you were on a train or a bus.
I think the personal touch is really important.
We enjoy meeting people who have similar interests, who like the bike, who are from all over the country. All of it contributes to this really great experience that you have with VBT.
When it comes to travel, I really care about how I spend my time and money. I've traveled with a lot of different companies, and with VBT, I know I'm getting the best value.
I'd like to also just thank everyone for presenting today. And now, if anybody has any questions, we'll go to the question portion of the presentation. I'll put everything in gallery. I do have a couple of questions that were submitted. The first one is for Mr. Altbauer. They say, why choose Slovenian spas rather than other countries in Europe?
Oh, yeah, thank you. This is actually one of the expected questions that we get almost all the time. Now, one thing that I would like to stress out is the really variety that we also have in our spas. I tried to explain that each spa is so different. And whenever it comes to this question, we always say to our clients, to our guests, what are you looking at? What are your even maybe some difficulties that you're facing that we can help with our remedies? And the great combination of location of each spa out of the city centers makes it really worth visiting, to be in a quiet, calm place. The connection with the spas and the local environment. In some of the spas, they would encourage you even to have a dinner in a local inn, not to stay all the time in the hotel. You won't find that in other destinations in other countries. So I believe the Slovenian spas, and what we always like to stress out also is that the value for money is always right. We're not the cheapest, but we're definitely cheaper as the Austrian, Italian, German, French spas. But we, as I also mentioned in our in my presentation, we strive to excellence, and we want to prove that on every step. That's why we believe we deserve to be visited. And yes, we don't have many overseas guests, but what we see is when the let's say the community of Slovenes living abroad is coming to visit their relatives and friends, very often they combine it with a spa visit. And we are very, very happy about that. And we believe that there could be even more of that.
Yes, that's what we're working on. That's what we'll do after this presentation. Lots more people coming to Slovenia.
Exactly. And we are really very, very thankful for all your work, and that we have the opportunity to give this idea today.
Okay, I have a question for Mr. Sova. Actually, is there a minimum for the number of people that can use your services? Are you just geared for groups, or can individuals also take advantage of your services?
Well, normally when we are making tailor-made tours, those tours are for groups. Well, it could be a small group already, maybe for 10 people, maybe 15, or even more, even 50 or 35, I don't know. But it depends. It depends on the needs of the customer. So maybe time to time, it's possible to make a tour even for 2, 3, or 4 people. So yeah, it is possible. And if anybody would thinking in the future about that kind of tour, all are welcome to ask us, and we will find a solution, of course.
Okay, thank you. I have a nice comment from one of the Argentine travelers that went with Ars Longa. I'll just read it so that we record it. It's from Andrea. Thank you very much. She says, I can certainly attest to feeling safe and looked after while traveling in comfort and enjoying quality culinary experiences while discovering Argentina under the care and guidance provided by Ars Longa Travel. I echo that. I think we had a trip of a lifetime, and that's why I'm so pleased that you're a member of the chamber.
Thank you.
Another question here that I have is, how do you care for your guests coming from non-EU countries?
Yeah, that's very important, as way of life in the country which is not your home country is different. So there should be a person who knows your needs and who knows how to introduce you into that country. So that's the care we are providing. So if you from Canada come to, I don't know, France, we know France, we are there every day almost. So we are quite familiar with their way of life. And we are kind of a intermedium, you know, between you and French way of life. So we are making all the best for your accommodation, for your meals, for the content, what you will see and how you will see this, I would say, important things, natural or cultural, diverse spots when we are visiting France. So that's a kind of a holistic approach. We know you, we know from where are you coming, and we know the destination. So we have to adjust our tour that you will experience as much as possible in as much comfortable way as possible.
Yes, I think that's one of your main wonderful points, is how flexible your tour company is. And yes, that was just wonderful. Is there any other questions from the group or comments? Okay, well, I will conclude this webinar then. Thank you very much, Iztok, Damjan. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, Mr. Doma, for being on our webinar. I will share, of course, the connections, how to connect with Mr. Sova, Mr. Altbauer, and their companies. And thank you very much for joining us today to everyone. There is a survey at the end of the presentation, so I ask that you fill the survey. And we'll be publishing Ars Longa, Slovenian Spa contact information in an email and also on the YouTube channel. So the Canadian-Slovenian Chamber of Commerce is funded by Spirit Slovenia and also by the Office of Slovenians Abroad. We'd like to thank our board of directors and our valued members and associates for their support and participation. Special thanks for the support and sponsorship from Mr. John Doma. We are a member of the VSKO, and we encourage you to support Canadian-Slovenian radio by listening or advertising. It's every Saturday at 8 o'clock on 100.7 FM. And also we look forward to your participation at our upcoming Canadian-Slovenian Chamber of Commerce events. On Friday, May 26th, we are co-hosting the Furniture and Designers European Network event in Toronto. And on June 28th, we invite you to join us at our first annual Chamber Golf Tournament at Angels View Course in Oakville. Please check us out on canslo.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, and visit our YouTube channel. And that's a wrap. Thank you very much. Na svidenje. Hvala.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Na svidenje. Z Bogom se vidimo. Srečno.
Hi, Marta.
Hi, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
See you later. I'll stop the recording. Thank you again for joining us. Hvala lepa and na svidenje.